This is Scott the Fix-It Guy. Today we're working on a Maytag electric dryer. It won't heat. I'm going to check the power coming in here. Check the breakers already. They look good. I want to make sure the receptacle's okay. So I have 124 volts on this leg and 124 on that leg, and together I've got 240 something, so definitely the right amount of power. So I'm going to unplug it and check a couple things. I'll use my paint scraper to push in on a couple of clips. They're about 5-6 inches in from each side to loosen the top. This is actually a pretty easy way to get your dryer heating again. And the top hinges, so you can just hinge it back vertically. Try to get it where you have enough room so it can go all the way up against the wall and it won't just fall on you all of a sudden. You might want to even put something to hold it up. And I'm going to check a few things here. So we have our electrical tester set for continuity. I'm going to look at this thermostat here at the top first, high limit, and it's fine. I'm going to check the 2 terminals for the element, and that had continuity, so that's fine. So it's probably the little thermal fuse that lives further down in the dryer, but it's actually pretty easy to get to. I'm going to check the door switch too, just in case. So I put my continuity tester on each terminal, and I got continuity, and then when I open the door, I got continuity on the other terminal, because when the door opens, it's supposed to have a light turn on. So the switch is working good. So I'm just trying to rule things out. The breaker's good, the receptacle's good, the high limit thermostat is good. So probably it's the thermal fuse, and that's commonly tripped when the dryer gets too hot, usually because the vent tube is blocked. Taking a 1/4 inch driver here to loosen just one screw, and I'm not going to take it all the way out. I'm just going to loosen it. It's going to come up about 1 inch. It's a very long screw, and that's going to allow me to get to a little plate that's about 2 inches down here in front of the element. I'll pull out the plate, and the plate has on it a little thermal fuse connected by 2 wires. So I'm just going to disconnect those wires, and I'll test out this little thermal fuse. So it doesn't have continuity. That tells us that it's blown, and that tells us that the dryer got too hot. And it's almost always due to an obstructed dryer vent. So at this point, it's good to take your model number and just go out and get yourself a new thermal fuse. So we'll take the new thermal fuse and I'm going to put it back into the little metal clip that holds it, and we'll hook up the 2 wires that are just the neutral side of the circuit. So when this trips, it cuts off all power to the light, to the motor, to the heater, everything. We're going to put that back against the element. I'm going to hold it in position as I tighten that long 1/4 inch screw, and that screw is going to go down and lock in that plate. Take your time here. This may take a few tries before you're able to get that plate to lock in. You do want to make sure that it's in position and not floating, because it has to be able to sense when the element gets too hot. So that's the repair, but then we have to figure out why the thermal fuse tripped, because if you fix it and you haven't cured the inherent problem, it'll trip again. So most likely it's this dryer vent tube, probably where it makes a right angle turn. It has a bunch of lint that's accumulated over the years. In this instance, this is on a townhome, so the vent tube goes straight up to the roof. It's a little bit unusual, but they tend to jam up much more often than the one that goes out on the horizontal plane outside the wall of your home. So I'm going to use this tool by linteater.com. Costs about $25. Hook it up to my drill, and I'm going to just go in 3-foot sections at a time. I ended up going in about 12 feet altogether, and ended up getting a lot of lint had come out, and that was what was clogging the vent tube, and the heat basically could not leave the machine. Got hotter and hotter, and then for safety's sake it tripped the high limit thermal fuse. So I'm just loosening up all that accumulated lint. I got a feeling that probably it was all the lint was hanging out at the right angle turn when the vent tube goes from the horizontal plane to the vertical plane. That's usually where the clog is. But if you have that type of arrangement in a condo or townhome, it's wise to do this at least once a year, because otherwise you can get a dryer fire due to too much lint accumulating. So here comes some of the lint. We ended up getting about a basketball size volume of lint coming out. And I don't think this one had ever been cleaned. A lot of times the lint will actually feel moist because it's trapped some of the moisture that was trying to leave the dryer. And when you get these clear, not only does the dryer work, but it'll be much more efficient. It'll dry the clothes much faster and use a lot less energy. So I think if you have that type of arrangement, it's good to do about once a year. And that company is linteater.com. So thanks so much for watching, and please subscribe to our channel when you get a chance.